And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another week, another qualifier here of the Stellarfest. The Stellarfest qualifier here for the global qualifier, I should say, for all the regions. I'm of course just VIP. With you, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all. For those that are curious, we were originally going to be covering some of the qualifiers earlier a couple of days ago, but we were unavailable. Unfortunately, things did come up, and we've already had qualifiers for Stellarfest take place. The other regional qualifiers, the Americas, the Asia qualifier, and the European qualifier as well. We already have some confirmed players making it through and getting those tickets, that travel accommodation to compete into a big offline event happening in Canada, but there's one qualifier left. Let's go. We have one qualifier left. This is the global qualifier. This is where those from Europa, from the Americas, and from Korea all come together. All come together to face off here and now in this final last chance qualifier. The winner of this qualifier, the one player to make it through, will actually make it into that main event, into the offline finals, or into the offline event. I should emphasize. Only one spot. I believe only one spot is available. So best of luck to all the competitors here, as there's again only one spot between all the competitors. Oh boy, let's go. I'll switch our scenes over. Exclamation mark be in the chat to have a look back yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we do have quite a lineup here. We have Percival versus Euthermal in the first round when it goes up against Shin. We have Creator versus Bonyo when it goes up against Spirit. We have Krystianer versus Gerald, so that is going to be our series leading into Zaun. And we have Nightmare versus Triple leading into Ryung. Oh boy, so we do have a pretty intense lineup of players here. Pretty intense. And again, I should speak a little bit on Stellarfest itself. Again, Stellarfest is going to be a big offline event happening over in Canada that is going to be taking place in November. So coming into November, it's a pretty intense month of StarCraft for the Americas, where you have Stellarfest, which is happening in Canada, and you have the SC for All tournament happening in Philadelphia, I believe a week prior to that. So I think it's going to be SC for All into Stellarfest, and of course you have the S2 Safe House at the end of October as well. So a lot of StarCraft, a lot of NA StarCraft specifically. It's it's going to be pretty NA centric coming into November, coming out of October into November. A lot of NA StarCraft. Let's go. But of course we have some international representation that's going to be traveling to that event as well. Here we go. When it comes to the qualifiers so far, I believe we already have 3 players making it through all the regionals. So Clem made it through the European regional, we had Trigger making it through the Americas regional, and we had Björn making it through the Asia regional, the Asia qualifier. So we have Björn, Trigger, and Clem making it through, and we have one more player to join them as a part of that offline event in Canada. Let's go. Let us go. Kind of a quiet global qualifier. Europe was the same. Rain was talking about going to Korea or something being unannounced around the same time. Maybe something big is cooking. I mean, now that I think about it, as we're getting into our first series, I mean, we'll just get into it. This morning in the bottom right-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the pink Protoss player. The pink Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself, representing Offside Esports, also from Poland. It is Krystianer. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Will go the way of Krystianer, will go the way of Gerald. 2 very high-profile players in the European region, 2 players very close in skill, and we'll see who will make it through. Quickly touching on something said in the chat about the qualifier itself. I mean, I don't know if I would agree that it's a quiet qualifier. If you were watching the Asia qualifier, you had all the Vitality boys, right? Zaun, Ryung, and Maru. Like, Maru does not play in qualifiers. Like, he does not play in online tournaments. So for Maru to actually take part, I mean, I'm sure the team itself, Team Vitality, did, you know, let the players know, let their team know, and did kind of push for that. But if you have players like Maru, you have players like Zaun, Björn, like if you have the Zaun and Ryung, like I don't know if there's anything planned in Korea if you have them signing up and looking to compete in Stellarfest. Likewise, from the European side of things, like for Clem to also sign up and to compete, like and for Trigger as well. If you do look at the qualifiers themselves, I want to say that we had the best players possible, right? Like we had Clem from Europe, Trigger from the Americas, and Björn from Asia. I say Björn from Asia. He beat Maru to qualify. Like, so, I mean, So yeah, some really high profile players making it through the regional qualifiers. Here I will say that we don't have some of those returning players, right? Like True, like Maru isn't here this time, but we have some others to take his place, right? Like your Shins, like your Spirits, your Zowns, your Youngs. I mean, hey, you have the other Team Vitality players here. It's possible that maybe Maru just wasn't available here tonight, because I'm sure otherwise he would be here since Zan and Ryung are. But when it comes to the quantity of signups, that is true. That is a little bit lessened. It's all good. Short and sweet. When it comes to offline events happening, right, that's what I was going to touch on. At least in Korea, we do know that the RSL event is happening in December, but that's the next month, of course. What else do we know of? He might be talking about Season 3 of RSL. I don't know if they plan on hosting part of that in the studio. I would love it if they did, but that might be a part of it. Maybe. Since RSL is going to be happening October, November. It's going to be RSL Season 3, of course. For now, we have our tech of choice. Twilight Council open out of Krystianer. Meanwhile, faster expansion out of Gerald going for a Stargate first. So Stargate expand. Meanwhile, Twilight Council expand out of Krystianer. Both players going for different directions. With this, Gerald, he will be able to harass across the map. He'll be active as well, and we'll see what he can get done. The goal of the Stargate opener, of course, is to gain an economic lead by dealing economic damage. And again, we'll see how much damage we can do. At the same time, Krystianer, he's aware. He did scouts. Ooh, does waste a force field, but at least he's aware of the Stargate. So Krystianer, he knows what's coming his way, and he should be getting ready. So now Gerald, he does poke in. Let's poke in, Krystianer, he will deflect. Taking a lot of hits on the pylon and no safety shield battery in the low ground. Bold move. Oh, does look him down. Oh, very nice. Oh my god. With 4 force fields, he gets 1. Only 1. Yeah, only 1 Stalker does go down. Clutch recall. That was a lot of force fields. So a bit of a give and take. Bit of a trade as the Oracle takes. Oh no! Oh, bit of miscontrol with the Oracle. Ay. The Oracle was left idle, unfortunately, and it does go down. That should not have happened. A big blunder here from Gerald. A massive blunder. And with that, Krystianer, he defends. He didn't even invest into any shield batteries in the mineral lines. Yeah, no shield batteries, none required. None even here at the natural. Third base is on the way. Krystianer being greedy. And the pressure is on Gerald. The pressure is on. He can shade into the mineral line, 2 adepts, they can one-shot drones, they can one-shot workers. We'll see what he can accomplish. Ooh, no wall. Yeah, no wall going into the main, gets 1. Gets 2. And, ooh, barely gets 3. Yeah, 3, 4 probe kills, not bad. Gets 4 kills towards the end. I mean, hey, that's something. Behind this, Goldie throws down a proxy pylon. We do have 4 gateways, so we have an influx of gateways here for Geralt before he expands. So Geralt, he should have the larger army. Should have a larger army, should have more supply. We'll see him move out. Here we go. Oracle does it into natural, gets 1 probe. Gets at least 1 more, and thankfully this time does survive, does get away. Meanwhile, we did mention how Geralt, he does have the larger Stalker count. Remember, he has a larger army here because his base is so late, right? His third base is delayed in favor of these warp-ins. He's up by 2, takes down the sentry. But Geralt, he still needs more damage. So rotating around. The Oracle is activated. Adepts into the mineral line. Head up stage, do shade in. Oh, never mind. Do cancel the shade. Much cancel. Gerald, he has the high ground. He has that position. Not bad. Yeah, better concave. Better engage. Despite that, we'll lose one stalker. The immortal comes in from behind. The stasis. Oh my god, does he notice? He does. Yeah, it does have stasis. Whew, barely does. Shadows to the observer. And Krystianer, he defends. He defends, did lose 4 probes in the process, so he does fall slightly behind here economically. Gerald, he's catching up. Krystianer, of course, who was mining more for longer. And Gerald, he is supply block. Ooh, going for the kill. Oh, does get it. That's a kill, not a cancel. Not bad. Yeah, nice pickup. As now Krystianer looking to chase. Prism is on the way. Just waiting for his Warp Prism, then he can move out. Until then, Gerald looking to take a lead. Now again, the 3rd base and the would-be 4th base hasn't kicked in yet, but he's working towards it. Gerald, he's getting there. Behind this, working towards charge, +1, gateway explosion. Speaking of charge already complete for Krystianer, now working on +2. So Krystianer, he does have a pretty big, pretty substantial upgrade lead. He has a pretty massive window in time where he has that +1 advantage. The War Prism is out, which means Krystianer, he can start to push. See if he goes for it, or just harass. Here we go. Meanwhile, big shout out to Holy Lime in the chat. Holy Lime 23. God, Papi, God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 32 months, Papi. Oh my god. 32. That's a lot of months. That's a lot of months. Thank you. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Este Holy Line. Gracias, Cyclone. Oh. Krystianer does break in. Very nice target firing at a Gerald. Snipes the Warp Prism. Prism goes down. No reinforcements. Bold late there by Krystianer. Does have the high ground. But again, he can no longer warp in. And warping in from back home. And Gerald, he buys more time. Buys more time, but +2 is almost complete. Don't want to hit that anti-timing. Krystianer only poking with their stalkers. +2 is done in a couple of seconds. Zelda moving in. And that's a lot of... It's a very charge-heavy composition. Krystianer, he does not have a lot of Archons. Yeah, just the one. The Archon count is very low. And again, Archons are ideal against Zealots. Okay. Second Archon. Krystianer, he should be... Yeah, there we go. He's holding onto a Warp in. Krystianer, supply blocks. Oof, brutal moment. Now's not the time. Yeah, trying to kite back. It breaks through all the Zealots. I say that another flank comes in. And Gerald, can he barely hold on? With reinforcements, Krystianer looks like he should have enough to get on top of the Archons. And he does. There we go. First, second, third Archon going to be going down. And with that, Krystianer, he breaks through. He breaks through here, everyone. So he takes down the Archons, pushes into the Stalkers. GG gets called, and Krystianer, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Krystianer, he will take a lead in the series. Again, a very intense game here, but Krystianer, he had a much stronger start to the game. He had a very nice lead, very comfortable lead coming in towards the mid game. We did see that Gerald was able to recover a little bit towards the end, towards the tail end of the game, getting a faster 4th base, but we spoke about those upgrades. Big upgrade advantage for Krystianer, and of course, the larger army as well. The higher quality army. Gerald, who was mainly working with purely Zealot there towards the end, and needed more time to recover, take more gases, get into +2. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Gerald can bounce back. We'll see if Krystianer can claim it here and now. Let's go. Let us go. That engagement looked good for Gerald. I mean, it was a very messy fight initially there. It didn't look too bad initially, but as we mentioned, you know, again, upgrades weren't quite in his favor. The supply was in favor of Krystianer. Krystianer, he had more Stalkers, he had less Zealots. Again, very Zealot heavy. Very Zealot heavy, Geralt, I mean. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game, and we're going to be loading into Persephone. Dang it. Rainer said it was travel from Korea to Canada and then back, and then this other event that was too much. Okay, okay, interesting. I mean, at the same time, I don't know if he would have been able to make it through the qualifier. Like, as we mentioned, right? Like, with Clem competing, like, Clem was or would be the favorite player, even if everyone else did show up. Regardless, GG. GG. But yeah, exciting to hear that we have potentially another event on the horizon, potentially. It would be really cool if we had, like, say, I don't know, like another Star Wars 11, or Stars War, there we go. Stars War 11 or Stars War 12 it would be, or Masters Coliseum. I mean, the off season would be the time for that. True, true. Would be the time for something like that. Yeah, especially with everything happening in regards to the Chinese server, it would not surprise me if SE Boy had something in the works, like towards the end of the year. Would make sense. But here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the pink Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. Also, why do I see Sig in the chat, but I don't see him on the bracket? What's going on here, man? What's going on? Ay, ay, ay. Este Sig. SMH my head. Where is Sig in the bracket? So now we're opening up. From here, we should just be seeing 2 gate openers. We'll see if anyone commits into a proxy and commits into something more aggressive. We'll keep an eye on our boys. How's PvP been on the new patch? PvP is slightly different. I say slightly different. A lot of it is a little bit more theoretical. We haven't seen too much. But my assumption coming into this, or my at least analysis coming into it, is that all-ins would be a little bit stronger in the new patch. The reasoning for this is because the NG recharge is a little bit weaker. So I would imagine that defending against, say, Proxy Robo and Proxy Gates, one-base all-ins will be a little bit harder. Likewise, on top of that, PvP, the Oracles have been adjusted. That's going to be a big change, especially, as we do lock in the probe. We lock in 2. There's 2 probes locked in, papi. Este Krystianer. Does cancel in time. Ay, ay, ay. Krystianer is so cheeky. Oh my god. So quick. So quick. But the Stasis Ward was also changed, and that is impactful in regards to MaxPax's PvP. If you've been watching PvP, including MaxPax against Hero, against Classic, against Showtime, against anyone, once he gets into the mid game, he's very fond of Stargate based openers. Like 2 gate into a Stargate into an expansion. It typically makes 1, 2 to 3 oracles, and with those oracles he is very effective, not just at harassing but throwing down stasis traps back at home defensively. But now with the Stasis Ward nerf, he cannot be as careless or as carefree with those Stasis Wards. But that was a big kind of influencing factor when it comes to MaxPax's PvP, is just how effective he was at using those Stasis Wards. For those that are curious what the nerf was, the duration of the Stasis Ward was reduced, of the ward itself, not the effectiveness. So very often you'd see like stasis fields, basically. You'd have like 5, 6, 7 Stasis Wards scattered all around MaxPax's side of the map, and it'd be very difficult for the opposing player to break through. Now the Stasis Wards are they're lasting less, or they're taking less time. It doesn't mean that they expire faster, so that isn't going to be as oppressive. So that's like another kind of big change in PvP. I would say those are the 2 big ones. I guess the other one is I guess less scouting, a little bit less scouting, as it's going to be a little bit fewer, a little bit less energy on the hallucinations, on the sentries. But I don't think that's like as meaningful. I don't think it's going to be as impactful. If you're curious about like the meta or like the builds themselves, like everything should be the same. Just again, something's going to be slightly better, something's slightly worse, but only slightly. Like no major changes in PvP. Oh. As Oracle picks in. I know there was some people that were like theorizing like could Storm be useful in mid-game PvP when you go for Zealot heavy compositions. It might be useful just as a tool to kind of work with, because you're already going into a Templar Archives, you're already going into Archon production and High Templar production anyway. Would Storm be useful there? Maybe. Like the problem is that, as we do snipe the Oracle, nice pick up here by Krystianer. I would say the problem there is that, I don't know how viable it would be as a zoning tool, especially with how mobile the Protoss army is. But maybe. Like the problem is that like you're saying, oh, could we maybe go into Storm when typically going to Disruptors, and that's just superior, right? Like Novas, they trade so much more efficiently with their Novas connecting as opposed to Storm, for example, in PvP. I can maybe see some people like messing around with it a little bit, but I don't know how viable it's going to be. Like having Storm as a transition point after Archon production. So interesting that it's theoretical. I mean, I say theoretical because in the PvPs that we've casted, it hasn't really been too impactful outside of the max specs change, right? Outside of the like there have been less stasis wards, less stasis traps. Max specs' Oracle play is diminished, so I guess that's not theoretical. That's that has panned out, but like we expected that. Behind this, Gerald, he does barely slip into the mineral line, gets a couple of probe kills. 3 probes going down. Krystianer still has a slight worker advantage. If you recall, Krystianer, he also killed the first Oracle, so far a better start for Krystianer once again. With the Oracle gets sniped, and the Stargate opener so far wasn't quite worth it for Gerald. Wasn't quite worth it. Poking, prodding, does dive in. Yeah, does wing forward, going for the sentries. Sentries they pull away in time. There's Zealots here to defend. Ooh, and Krystianer, he responds. Yeah, Krystianer does get it in time. He punishes quite hard. That's a lot of Stalkers going down. Ay. Losing 5, losing 6. Yeah, that's a lot of Stalkers. That was not worth it. That's 5 Stalkers falling and an Adept for almost nothing. And Krystianer, he has momentum. He has momentum, he's moving out. Gerald's in a rough position. He's actually out of position. And the base is going to go down. Denies the 4th. Gerald coming in from behind. He's going for the War Prism. Yeah, Prism has to get the hell out of here. Does pull away. Gerald, he attempts to surround. But he doesn't really have that much to work with. Yeah, we can just warp in. We can't go for the warp in. Oh, he goes to dive. Okay, not bad. Does dive in, but he gets punished. Yeah, there are just so many Zealots here. Krystianer, he overwhelms, and Krystianer, he will claim the series. I was hoping for a back and forth, but again, we had a little bit rusty, a little bit shaky play out of Gerald with the Stargate openers, with the economic disadvantages. And with that, GG. GG gets called. Krystianer, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Krystianer, really solid defense out of Krystianer. There was a lot of pressure on Gerald to try to find some damage because he was behind in the worker count, so he was doing whatever he could with Adept harass, with Stalker harass, but he got caught out. If you recall, he lost the Stalkers as he tried to push into the natural. He took a little bit too long when it came to finding any damage. We saw that Krystianer, he was able to catch him, able to block him out, and then just snowballed from there. GG. GG, well played. Just really crisp play there out of Krystianer. Does advance on. And with that, we're going to be following Krystianer into his next series. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. The bracket is live. And Krystianer, he will advance on to face off against Zaun in the next round. Meanwhile, we have some other matches also commencing. We have Ryung versus Nightmare in the second round as well. And we have Spirit versus Creator. Let's go.